Israel.
Israel.
Welcome.
Welcome everyone to Sagada. My name is Aladdin. My co-guide is Jeffrey. You already know him. The other one earlier. While we are waiting, did you already start the tour from the church or no?
Yes.
Yes, he did. So I will start from here. From down here, some of the mission buildings of the American missionaries. Everybody understand English?
Yes.
Here. The green building at the back, it was once the nuns' dormitory for the sisters. They were the first teachers of English in Sagada. That's why if you observe in here, the elders speak more comfortably in English than Tagalog, the Philippine language. They don't know how to speak Tagalog. That's why if ever you meet a very old one in here, it's better to say good morning than magandang umaga. Right?
Walang galing yung mag-English ha.
On the left side, there is a chimney on the house. Unfortunately, it's covered by the trees. Chimney is one of the features here that the American missionaries taught on how to build houses in here. Almost all of our resident houses, we have chimneys. Of course, for practical use, Sagada is cold to warm the house. And another one is because of our most common ritual, the pinik pican. Have you heard? The pinik pican. We call it the buttered chicken of Sagada. Buttered, B-A, not B-U. Or in English, they call it killing me softly dish. Yes, with the chicken. For a pinik pican here, on the way on how we prepare the chicken, we need to burn the feathers. For burning the feathers, if we do a bonfire in our backyard, you are saying that someone died at your household. That's why they need to burn the chicken inside the house. That is what the chimney is used for. So we don't do bonfires outside. We have here on the maroon building, it was once the principal's residence. Whoever is a principal at the school, that becomes their house. Like their White House or Malacanang Palace in the Philippines. We have teachers among us. Teachers, no teachers. And they are here. I think Sir Jeffrey will continue. How many left? Nabayadan?
Nalbas? Ano, imo na kayo? Oh, hindi, diretso na kayo. Ako na, upat.
Let's go. Yeah, angkat today. Angkat today.
Okay na. Okay na.
Let's wait for our tour guide. Kuya Jeffrey.
Excuse.
For the cemetery, it was introduced by the American missionaries when they came, or the modern way, or the Christian way of burial. The difference between here in Sagada, if you observe some of the coffins or the tombstone, the other side is vacant. It implies the spouse is still alive. The husband or the wife is still alive. Yes, in Sagada, we have forever. That is the reason. The first tombstone, if you observe, it has a title of Reverend. But the other side is vacant, meaning our priest in Sagada, they can choose to marry if they prefer. Anglican, majority of Sagada, we are Anglican. You know what Anglican is? Israel, you don't know Anglican? It's the first Protestant of Roman Catholic. Anglican is considered Catholic. It's not Roman Catholic though. The difference, I said, one, the priest can marry. Another one, inside the church, if you went inside earlier, there are no statues of saints or altars of saints. But the words in the Mass is the same with the Roman Catholic. All of the procession is the same. We have baptism, what do you call that one? Communion is the same. Well, we are also considered Catholic, but not Roman Catholic. The equivalent for the Pope is the Archbishop of Canterbury, if you've heard of that. I think in majority of you in November 1 you visit your cemetery, or no? How about you in Israel, sir?
No,
Don't visit the
I'm
cemetery?
not Christian.
What?
I'm Jewish.
Ah, Jewish don't visit the dead?
We visit, but not that day.
Not November 1.
No.
Yeah. In here we do visit the November 1 on the Christian way.
When?
Every year, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's the anniversary.
so no.
When the cemetery was introduced, supposedly we would burn candles. Unfortunately, candles before it was too expensive. We looked for an alternate, the pine wood. If the pine wood gets old, it turns reddish, it becomes pitch, very flammable wood. That is what we burn here during November 1 at the evening. Every tombstone, there would be a fire or a bonfire. So if you can imagine that one, it looks like an inferno or a mountain of fire. We have bloggers here. For the bloggers, please don't say that we are saying impierno. We don't know what impierno looks like. I still haven't visited Impierno. Inferno, it's a mountain of fire. Yeah, a problem for media, they keep twisting the words. Just one word, it's a different meaning. It's the same with here when tourism boomed in Sagada. It was featured in ABS-CBN, the Panag-Apoy, the fire. They called it the Fire Festival. That's why unfortunately for November 1, tourists are not allowed already to join the fire. Only the locals. If you have any questions, just ask. You go. You can go.
Ganito naman, may ano rin dito. Hindi kayo naniniwala na may mga saklan.
Pero sa Marbulonis din, marami din mga ganito. Ano yan? Let's go.
Ito, yung problema,
Dito rin kayo pabalik mo. Dito daw.
Naniniwala?
dami rin naman dyan sa Tagaytay, hindi ko nga pinapansin.
Hanggang sa ano ba
Hindi ko pinipicturean pa nila.
Iwanan mo na yun sa Manila.
Iwan ko nga sa Manila.
Oo.
St. Bernard Charo.
Tubo ko to ulit.
Hayaan mo yung St. Bernard Charo.
Tapos nun.
Hindi ko alam kung bakit gusto nilang pumunta. View dahil. Yung baby ko nalalagay.
Ayan. Sa mga gustong mag-rock climb. Ayun. Taas. Ito yung St. Bernard oh. Ah, di ba?
Ano yan? Local bird, like local bird.
May kakamping ng pala. Mga Saint Bernard. Grabe, askan.
Confused tuloy yung aso.
Kaya pala 20 lang daw kung nagpa-picture. Biyahe? Oh, yeah. Hindi tayo magpatalo. Tinatalo tayo ng sinisip. Kasi hindi ko pumayag. Okay na kayo. Isip ka na. Puro kayo eto na eh.
Finally.
Daming tao.
Dito na kami. Tignan natin yung nakikita lang natin sa libro.
Konti lang pala.
Hindi tol, marami pa yan.
Ma'am.
Maraming vacant there.
St. Peter din ba?
Avail ka na.
Sino mauna?
Ayan. Maganda dito. Tatlong copy para ano, makapili. Wala namang pin.
Okay guys.
If you observe the hanging coffins, there are coffins that are very short and there are coffins that are long. For the short ones, those are not children, they are all elders. But the traditional way of burial here, we place them in a fetal position. The dead like that. The reason behind, Sagada was once barren. It was a grassland before. We don't have pine trees. We planted only the trees in here. They are not natural forest, man-made forest. We get our wood far from Sagada, a little bit close to Kalinga, or northern part of mountain province. While a person is still strong, he will be the one making his own coffin. He's the one dictating the dimension, boxing the length, the width, and the height. For an easier transport, they make a small one. That's the reason why they are short. Nowadays though, there's a modern interpretation. We came from our mother's womb in a fetal position. When we die, we go back in the same position. That was already accepted by the community, a reason why the coffins are short. For the long ones, of course, you already noticed there is a wooden cross. You see? That implies that our culture with Christianity did not clash with each other. We merge our tradition with Christianity. We are practicing both of them. That's why all of our ceremonies here, we do them in both the Christian way and the traditional way. An example, if you notice some of the coffins, there are names written on the coffins. Those are Igorot names. On the cross is the Christian name. Did you notice? Example, Bumitog, that's the Igorot name. The cross, the Masho, is the Christian name. For the others without names, they are illiterate. They don't know how to write. That's why there are no names in the coffins. Now, on the right side, we have chairs. You see? The chairs, we call it here the sinangadil, or just chair in English. We use the chair on the last night of the wake. We place the dead on the chair, tie them up so that they won't fall, and then place them in front of the door. That's why if we go in a wake here, upon entering the house, the dead one is the first one you meet. That is the time that we say their eulogy, or in Tagalog, huling pabilin. You still do that one? Yes, it's the same here. If we bury them in the Christian way, the cemetery, they are placed in the coffin. If they are buried the traditional way, they are placed on the chair. That is the difference. For the way for the burial, for the traditional way, the dead one is the one moving literally. Can you imagine that one? No? We have magic in Sagada. Now, starting from the house of the dead until here, there will be a line of people. First, in the morning, we bring the coffin here without the cadaver, just the coffin. It would be too heavy with the dead person inside the coffin. So for an easier transport, we build a temporary scaffolding below, drill 2 holes at the rocks, and then secure the coffins on the rocks. After lunch, followed by the dead person, we cover the dead in a cloth, make it like a ball, and pass from one to another. Or the accurate term is we grab the dead person from the other. In our belief, if the dead person passes to you, especially if there would be body liquid that drops on yourself, you will be giving a blessing or good luck. Yes, that's why they are grabbing the dead person from the other one. Until today, we are still doing these kinds of burial only for the elders of the community nowadays. Mostly nowadays, though, they prefer the cemetery. It's too hassle doing this one. For this side, we already closed for burial. It became a tourist spot. The reason why, of course, there's an accessible pathway. If you follow the valley all the way down, there will be lots on the side, especially on the east side of the community. So they can choose a specific spot on where they want to be buried. But if a family member doesn't approve for the burial the traditional way, they will be buried in the cemetery. So everyone in the family needs to agree. That's the traditional way. You have questions? No? In here, in the traditional burial sites, though, we don't visit them. You remember the hanging koan, the cemetery? We visit the cemetery on November 1st. Here, we never visit them. In our belief, they are in the environment. They will be the ones visiting the living. It's the other way around. Like Coco, if you watch Coco, something like that. That's why on November 1st, every household, we prepare a feast, waiting for our ancestors to come home. Let's see. Hanging coffee. You have question? No? I will ask a question if you don't have. How many coffins did you see? You didn't count? You didn't count? How many? Bilangin.
Bilangin mo sa picture.
Sir, question. Kailan may huling nailibing niya?
December 20, 2010.
December 20,000.
Yeah, but
The
there's more that's no longer.
the last burial
Oh,
of the traditional.
but you said there's still traditional ways on this side, just not that.
Yeah, for now we have an elder who wants to be buried the traditional way. He already chose a specific spot, we don't know where, but we are waiting for him to die so that we can do the pass. I didn't experience the 2010, so I want to experience it. How many?
18.
At least you have good eyesight, but there's 19 all of them.
Where's the other?
Talagang